When you've been playing professional basketball for more than 2 decades, the game evolves. And so does your body. The difference between competing at 18 and doing it at nearly 41 is drastic, no matter how gifted or disciplined you are. And LeBron James, the face of longevity in the NBA, isn't pretending otherwise. Entering the league in 2003 as a generational prospect, LeBron quickly shattered expectations, transforming from a teenage prodigy into one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. Now, in his 23rd season, he's not just extending the boundaries of what's physically possible, he's redefining them. This year began with a rare moment in his historic career. For the first time ever, LeBron missed the opening stretch of the Lakers season, sitting out the first 14 games with a back sciatica issue. A setback like that would be alarming for most players, but for LeBron, it became another milestone. When he finally returned during LA's home game against the Utah Jazz, he became the first player in NBA history to appear in 23 seasons, a record that may stand untouched for decades. Even at this stage, LeBron continues to influence the game in ways that very few players in their prime ever could. His court vision, scoring instincts, and leadership remain central to the Lakers' identity. But with age and mileage comes a new approach, and the Lakers organization knows it. The team has been openly committed to managing his load, dialing back minutes, and handling every minor injury with caution, with the goal of extending his availability deep into the playoffs. So when LeBron missed the November 30th matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans due to a left foot irritation, it didn't come as a shock to the Lakers, and it certainly didn't surprise LeBron himself. Asked about the injury, he delivered a candid, almost humorous 3-word message that spoke volumes about his reality. "It's called old," he said. "You get it. You understand. You just wake up with you didn't have the night before." It was classic LeBron. Honest, self-aware, and unbothered. A reminder that even the all-time scoring leader isn't immune to the wear and tear of a lifetime spent on hardwood floors. 2 days later, he returned to action in the Lakers' 125-108 loss to the Phoenix Suns. And this time, the conversation shifted. His performance, noticeably below his usual standard, drew immediate attention. LeBron finished with just 10 points, 3 rebounds, and, in a rarity for his career, 0 assists. He looked slower, less explosive, and at times disengaged, prompting analysis across every major network. LeBron did not have a good night, ESPN insider Brian Windhorst said. For the first time this season, it felt like LeBron looked his age, or maybe not his exact age, but certainly like an older NBA player. He wasn't himself. For any other player, a single off night would barely make headlines. But LeBron's career has been defined by consistency, dominance, and an almost superhuman ability to defy decline. That's why even the slightest dip in performance sparks debate. Not about his legacy, which is secured, but about how much longer he can anchor a contender. And that conversation is only going to intensify. At nearly 41 years old, LeBron James is balancing the expectations of a franchise, the demands of a fan base, and the limitations of time itself. Every game is another data point for analysts, coaches, and critics evaluating how effective an aging superstar can remain in a league that grows younger, faster, and more athletic every season. Still, no one has earned more credibility than LeBron. No one has carried more weight, logged more years at the top, or rewritten more chapters of NBA history. For 2 decades, he has been the standard, the benchmark for excellence. And even now, as he navigates the realities of an older body, he continues to compete, adapt, and lead. Whether this is the beginning of the final chapter or just another stretch in his unprecedented career, one thing is clear: LeBron James is still fighting, still performing, and still pushing against the limits of time. And the basketball world will be watching every step, every setback, every return, and every moment, as one of the greatest players ever continues his remarkable journey. While LeBron's individual brilliance remains undeniable, the Lakers as a team are grappling with a problem that no amount of veteran savvy can fix alone: rim protection. DeAndre Ayton has delivered encouraging performances in his first stretch with the team, giving Los Angeles a skilled interior scorer with size and composure. But despite Ayton's contributions, the Lakers continue to face a stubborn, season-defining problem. They simply are not protecting the rim at a level expected of a contender. The numbers reveal the issue clearly. Only the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans rank worse when defending shots inside 6 feet. This persistent weakness has cost the Lakers momentum, closed games, and any sense of control defensively. In a Western Conference stacked with elite slashers, high-powered offenses, and physically imposing big men, that flaw becomes a glaring liability, and that's what has pushed the front office toward exploring reinforcements, specifically another true defensive presence in the paint. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Lakers are once again being linked to Brooklyn Nets center Nick Claxton. This isn't a new conversation. Los Angeles has monitored Claxton for over a year, waiting for a potential opportunity to strike. Siegel stated, "Claxton has been on the Lakers' wish list dating back to last season. He remains one of the top center trade candidates expected to be moved before February." That comment alone speaks volumes. The Lakers aren't kicking the tires. They have had real interest, and with the deadline approaching, the window may finally be opening, and the fit makes sense. Offensively, Claxton isn't on the same tier as Ayton when it comes to footwork, touch, or polish in the post. Ayton remains one of the most technically refined interior scorers in the league, but Claxton brings a completely different dimension: non-stop energy, elite verticality, long arms that swallow space, and shot-blocking instincts that change how opponents attack the basket. He's a natural disruptor, the type of defender who doesn't just contest shots, but intimidates players before they even enter the paint. His mobility also stands out. Claxton can switch onto guards, recover, and still challenge at the rim, a rare defensive profile that has become increasingly valuable in modern basketball. And with the Lakers' current core, that versatility becomes even more dangerous. Picture him running the floor with Luka Doncic pushing the tempo, LeBron James orchestrating in transition, and Austin Reeves filling the lane. Claxton thrives in systems where he can sprint, finish lobs, and collapse defenses with sheer athletic pressure. Los Angeles would give him exactly that environment. Financially, the move is also feasible. Claxton's contract runs through the 2028-29 season, and he earns under $25 million annually over the next 2 years. For a 26-year-old big man still improving and entering his prime, that number is more than manageable. It's the type of deal front offices love: cost-controlled, high upside, and flexible enough to build around. But trades are never simple, and this one would come down to what Los Angeles is willing to sacrifice. From a salary matching standpoint, a package involving Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht fits Brooklyn's needs. Rui brings size, scoring, and playoff experience. Knecht offers long-term upside as a shooter with real potential, but even then, the Nets would almost certainly demand draft compensation, whether that's future first-round picks, pick swaps, or both. Brooklyn's situation only adds more intrigue. The team is trending toward another rough season, and their timeline is in limbo. With no clear path back to contention, the franchise could choose to pivot toward a rebuild. If that happens, moving a valuable piece like Claxton for future assets becomes a very real possibility, and that's where the Lakers must position themselves carefully. They know their window is now. They know LeBron James, even at 40, is still performing at a historic level, and they know that Luka Doncic is entering his prime, giving the team a superstar offensive engine unlike anything they've had before. Adding a rim protector who can anchor the defense, someone who complements Ayton rather than duplicates him, could be the exact adjustment that elevates this roster from competitive to dangerous. Los Angeles has been searching for this type of defensive identity for years. Claxton might finally be the answer. With JJ Redick now steering the team from the sidelines, the Lakers' system has evolved. More pace, more structure, and more emphasis on defensive accountability. A player like Claxton would fit that philosophy seamlessly. As the trade deadline approaches, expect the rumors to intensify, the pressure to rise, and the Lakers to remain right in the center of the conversation, hunting for the missing piece that could reshape their season. But Claxton isn't the only big man on the Lakers' radar. The organization may be winning early, but inside there's a clear understanding. This roster, as it stands, is not enough to seriously chase a championship. The team has shown flashes of elite play, but also exposed lingering gaps, especially when matched against deeper, more physical, and more versatile contenders. And with the Western Conference tightening by the week, standing still is not an option. Around the league, executives fully expect the Lakers to make a move. Not just a minor shuffle, but a meaningful addition aimed at elevating the team from dangerous to legitimate. And in recent days, one name has quietly moved to the top of their list: Dallas Mavericks center Daniel Gaffford, one of Luka Doncic's most effective former frontcourt partners. According to Bleacher Report insider Jake Fisher, Gaffford is gaining traction within the Lakers front office as a realistic and attainable trade target. Fisher's reporting highlights a key priority for Los Angeles, pairing Luka Doncic with a reliable pick-and-roll lob threat who can anchor the paint, finish above the rim, and protect the basket consistently, something the Lakers have lacked since the departure of their last elite interior defender. Gaffford checks every one of those boxes. His synergy with Luka Doncic in Dallas was immediate and impactful. The two helped push the Mavericks to a finals appearance, with Gaffford thriving as a vertical spacer, rim protector, and high-energy interior presence. His ability to run the floor, set crushing screens, and elevate for lobs made him one of the league's most efficient bigs during their run together. Fisher also pointed out another important detail: Gafford's contract structure. He signed a 3-year, $54 million extension, but it doesn't begin until the 2026-27 season. That delay was intentional, designed to keep him fully movable in trades. It avoids the typical 6-month restriction that blocks most newly extended players from being traded. In other words, Gaffford is not only trade eligible, he's one of the most cleanly movable starting caliber centers on any contender's radar. For the Mavericks, that flexibility could matter. Their season has been uneven, marked by flashes of brilliance and stretches of inconsistency. As Dallas evaluates its long-term roster structure, league sources believe Gaffford could be one of the pieces they consider moving before February's trade deadline. Not because he isn't valuable, but because his contract, age, and play style make him one of the team's most tradable assets if they decide to retool around Luka Doncic. On the Lakers side, the question becomes, what are they willing to give up? Fisher identified Rui Hachimura as the most likely centerpiece of a potential deal. His contract fits, his production is steady, and he holds league-wide value as a versatile forward who can score, switch defensively, and contribute in playoff settings. If the Lakers wanted to expand the trade framework, they could include Gabe Vincent, a move that would create enough combined salary to pursue not only Gaffford, but potentially additional help. But even with all this momentum, Fisher cautioned that the Lakers are not rushing into anything. The front office is reportedly taking a measured approach, evaluating how the current roster gels as the season progresses. They want to fully understand where the true weaknesses lie before committing valuable assets. Do they need more size, more shooting, more playmaking, or does the team's trajectory change once everyone is fully healthy? For now, the message is simple. The Lakers are watching the market closely, they know help is needed, and Daniel Gaffford has become a compelling option who fits both their timeline and their on-court need. Whether they pull the trigger depends on how the next few weeks unfold for both Los Angeles and Dallas. One thing, however, is becoming increasingly clear. If the Lakers want to turn potential into reality, standing pat will not be enough, and Gaffford might be the first real step toward reshaping this roster into a true championship threat.